Hi, everyone. This is a super, super quick reading. I kind of promised in the Tangent Tuesday that I would do this. And this has been on my list of things to do for like 2 years now, and it never gets done. So we're going to make it happen today. If you can join me, say hi, and let me know that you're here. But if not, you can watch it afterwards. Totally cool. So this is... this is an equinox or a solstice spread. So the deck is divided into major arcana. Hi, Sue. It's divided into major arcana and into the minor arcana. So everything is separate. So there are, 5 placements here. So we'll end up pulling a card for each one of the suits and for the major arcana. Readings that I do are not typically predictive. That's not kind of how I flow with the cards. I do look at tarot as a tool of divination, and depending on the question that we ask, good morning, Shauna, it gives us guidance and clarity, understanding that free will is the most powerful tool that we have in this 3D incarnation, and that we get to make choices along every step of the path. Are there some things that are set for us? Yes. In our astrological birth chart, we will see that some are gifts given and some are things we are bound to go towards. However, what we choose denotes whether or not we really end up there. Okay. The reason I'm explaining this is that the equinox or the solstice spread is predictive. This does give us the energies at play for this season, which I thought would be really fun to do. So I'll talk you through it as we go, and it's going to be pretty quick. And if you missed it live, then you can watch it anytime. So today is a big day, right? This is our full moon in Libra. This is the astrological new year because the sun has entered Aries today. It's Aries season. It is the spring equinox. And with the full timing of the full moon lunation, it will fall on the equinox, right? So like we have this convergence of stuff today that I just thought, I'm going to do this little extra reading for those who want it and be fun. Yay, Charlotte. Charlotte's having a tea break. Hooray. Okay, so again, to talk through this is going to be real quick today, but this is predictive for the season. So we have our monthly. We have our new moon reading. We have our full moon readings for those who are members of unicornwellness.studio. Here on the YouTube channel for everyone, we have the weekly readings. You can always book a personal session with me at tandygutierrez.com. But the equinoxes and the solstices, the transitions and the turns of the season are really important. This one in particular because it's the astrological new year. This is truly fresh starts and new beginnings in the cosmos and in the energy at play. So I wanted to do this equinox spread, but it works for the solstices also, okay? So again, if you are just joining us, I'm just trying to give a good shuffle here. The deck is separated into the major and minor arcana. The minor arcana are separated into suits. So we, I love it already. So we get 1 card per placement, and this gives us predictive energies for this season, for us as a collective. We can also do this individually to know what your particular springtime will be like, but since we run as a herd or as a group of unicorns, it's called a blessing. This is for the unicorn wellness community, okay? So I'll pull 1 card from each deck, each section of the deck, and then we'll go through the reading. And I do have to keep to a good pace today. Speaking to myself, I got to go hop a train and go see a client in the city. So here we go. But I wanted to do this, and I've been trying to make a commitment to do this each equinox or solstice for us. Thus it begins, fresh starts and new beginnings today, okay? So the overall spiritual theme of this spring for us, this is the Empress. So this is our major arcana card. I love the Empress, right? My 2 favorites out of the deck, the Empress and the High Priestess, okay? So the Empress and the High Priestess are the most psychic of the deck. They are the most knowing. They are the mamas. They are the matriarchs, right? I dig me some queens also. But this is the spiritual tone of springtime for us, this springtime. The Empress, she is all about the tangible. If there is anything that Unicorn Wellness is, this is about tangible and practical tactics, okay? So the theme of the spring is going to be anchoring into our divinity through our practical day-to-day things. It's about creativity. She's super, yeah, I know everybody's like, yes, the Empress. I can't think of any a card that's more spring-like than the Empress. You'll notice that she's usually shown pregnant, fertility, abundance, creativity, the divine feminine being the goddess of creativity, the birthplace of humanity, the courier of souls. So the overall theme is going to be getting really grounded. She is the calling card for groundedness. Get on your damn mat. Do the reset, anchor into your root veggies, into greens. She also, she kind of sits and spins things into gold, like by working and doing the doing, right? The day-to-day mundane tasks, things come to fruition. Things come to manifestation. She's always outside. So again, it's springtime. It's time to get outside. This is a call to literal grounding. So we work all the grounding techniques at all times, right? You want to be on the mat. That's a physical grounding in our body. Good nutritious food and root vegetables in particular, highly grounding. Anything red in food is very grounding for the root chakra. But it's springtime. It's time to get outside. So this is about walks in nature. This is about putting your hands on a tree. This is about getting your feet, in the dirt and in the grass. Literally. So it is springtime. As soon as it warms up just a tiny bit here in Brooklyn, you're going to see my pictures on Instagram on my bare feet in whatever patch of grass I can find in this concrete jungle. So the overall spiritual theme is getting grounded this spring. Okay. So if you've been following, hi, Erica, the overall tone and joy, you guys, hi, of, 2019, it's kind of like we're expecting blessings, right? And then we get into it and we go, oh, there's more lessons before we can get to the blessings. And it's not really the beginning of 2019 until today, astrologically. Okay. So this is showing us that our theme is getting grounded, because if you've been, around and listen to the teachings in the Unicorn Wellness newsletter, then you know that you have to be grounded in order to manifest, in order to make magic. It's so much equally about the root chakra as it is about being connected to the upper realms of divinity and being able to get messages in through the seventh, okay, and the third eye. So I think in the past have really mistaken divinity and magic as like Luna Lovegood, all up in the stars and up in the ethers and like, oh my God, where are they? Like this very Aquarian energy, but it takes groundedness in order to make magic. So any witch knows that you need the elements of the earth, right? So, this is the pagan new year of the celebration of the elements and earth and spring and sprouting and new birth. So yeah, on the Empress. Yeah, this is the Robin Wood deck. You're right. And I'm sorry I didn't say that to begin with. Yes, this is the Robin Wood deck. This deck to me always kind of speaks spring. And you'll see me rotate through different decks at different seasons. I always just listen to my guidance on what deck to use. But again, the Nicoletta Ciccoli deck I find to be very Scorpio, very Pisces. The Robin Wood is really spring. It's bright. It's ready to go. It's got some fire to it. So yeah. Okay, then we move on to the energy of this spring for us, which, y'all, there's just, kind of nothing but blessings here. I mean, there's always some work to be done. But the energy of this spring for us as a collective is the Six of Wands. So wands, bravery, courageousness, boldness, taking risks, firepower, more magic here. But Six of Wands is a homecoming. So there's this interesting thing at play right now of the homecoming. So the North Node is in Cancer. Cancer is the great mother, but it has this emphasis on home and coming home and what is home and creating a home. And when you think of home, then it's grounding. Where is your home base? What makes you feel secure in the world? So the energy of this season is the Six of Wands. And the Six of Wands says you have come home victorious. There is a celebration. There is a high five. There is, feasting and camaraderie in your honor. Hello. So let's go back a little bit. Like, I hope this is totally literal, right? This is the six. This is the number of love. So this is that love is being shown and illuminated and showered upon you. Love takes many forms. But remember that as we've talked through the last few weeks and we've gone through working and healing with guilt and working and healing, anger and the purpose of it in the overall spectrum of healing. So the overall spectrum of healing, for me is supporting all of us to our highest expression of our soul capacity in this lifetime. There's a lot about identity right now, and we're sitting in a full moon in Libra, which is about relationships. And I brought to you all, but channeled through for any of my community and my members, that this is a lot to do with the relationship to self and the relationship to balance of like self-care, sensual pleasures, and the greater good. Okay. So what does that mean when I'm holding this card? Let's get to the point here. Six of Wands, I think this is going to be a homecoming of identity. Of going, again, the assignment in the video about how to work with and how to heal from guilt. Who did it? Who made their business card for their soul? When you have your identity claimed at a soul level, there is a homecoming of spirit, of magic, of love, of support in the ethers. Because it's kind of like the universe and your guides and guardian angels, God, Goddess go, we have totally been waiting for this. Like, we've been waiting for you. So I feel like this, rather than this being like a literal, tangible, although I hope it is for us, of like celebration and homecoming and being showered with love and being victorious home from the battle, I hear this as more of a spiritual tone of home from the battle for our souls. Like, we know who we are at a soul level, that we are magic, we are divine, we are witches, we are light workers, and we're unicorns. And that when you claim that at that soul level, there is a spiritual homecoming. Yeah. And remember, this is for spring. Okay. So this is, like a 12-week cycle here. Just remember this card in relation to your April readings on the site as a member at unicornwellness.studio. Okay. So then we move on to Pentacles. Pentacles in this placement is looked at as labors of love, which I think is such a beautiful topic of placement here. The Pentacles are the earth element. This is health and finances and abundance and joy. And so what is it calling us to do in this spring season? And spring in the Northern Hemisphere, right? Australia, you guys are moving into not spring, fall. So, it's still, the energies are the same, even though the realities of it will feel a little bit different energetically. So the labors of love, health and wellness and finances, what's this going to be like? This is going to be about balance. Okay. I don't think we're into that like blessings just yet in return. I don't. So this is about balancing your humanity and your divinity, the two coins, right? The two sides of the coin, and taking one step at a time. I think, and look, good grief. Okay. So much of this has to do with how we work with this full moon, I believe. And the next full moon is also in Libra. So there's this balance aspect, right? The scales of justice. That how do we balance ourselves versus the collective? How do we balance our humanity versus our divinity? And again, if you're on unicornwellness.studio, you guys have the tools. Like, that's what they're for. You get on the mat, you look at your food, you rest, you meditate, and you come and you check in with the tarot. These are the day-to-day, one step at a time, one foot in the other practices. The bigger practices are in these bigger cycles of self-evaluation, of journaling, of meditation, of, if you book a one-on-one with me or anybody else, of your astrology, right? And understanding that the day-to-day is in tandem with the divine ethers. But that for the spring, it's really just going slow, figuring out how to balance things, not letting yourself get too topsy-turvy in the ego-based, what do I need self-care, but to be really clear and fair about how much you do for other people versus how much you do for yourself. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. This is just like practicing balance. Like, hey, I get it now. I have a more spiritual concept in my life. I totally get on the mat. I totally hydrate myself. Like, but I'm just going to repeat. Yeah. I keep hearing like repeat, like do the doing. Now you know all the pieces. Now just keep doing one little bit at a time. So the Pentacles, energy is really about balance and practice, 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 practice. That you've shifted things, but now it's like, okay, I've made it across this wire once. Can I do it again? Just go slow, okay? Then we have the focus or the attitude of this spring season. She's my another favorite. I love this reading, you guys. So the focus for the spring. Hello, she's back. So the Two of Swords. Again, if I had to put my favorite cards in order, 1 and 2 would be the High Priestess and the Empress. Number 3 would be the Two of Swords, because she's fierce, okay? So swords, intellect, acumen, thought process, our cognitive and our subconscious programming. This card is about patience. It is a call to intuition. It is a call to meditation. She is a badass. She does not need to look at things. She doesn't even really need to hear things. She needs to sit in silence because her knowing is so great. And she is armed. She is skilled. And she knows that I don't have to waste energy. I don't have to ask for anything right now. And I'm going to sit and listen, and I will be able to strike when the moment is correct. So this spring is really about us getting even more dialed in, even more fine-tuned into our intuition, into sitting, right? So even though spring is like, hey, it's time to sprout and take some fresh steps forward and to move forward, it's still saying to go slow. Work your balance. You're learning how to balance these things. They were way out of whack before, okay? And then it says, well, what's the attitude to take or the focus to have? It's telling us our focus needs to be in meditation, in that spiritual guidance, of listening, of hearing your own guidance, of trusting your own guidance. This is still a trust card, right? Because she's in water, even though it's swords. So this, again, is a call to intuition and a connection to the ethers and staying connected to Pisces energy, because Mercury retrograde is still in Pisces, and we're going to feel that energy through mid-April, right? That's a long time, right? That's half of the season. So be listening, be calm, be still. It's about practice and small movements forward. Okay. It's still a little bit of it may not get super exciting. It's just going to have this beautiful upswing to it. Yeah, it's such a beautiful card. But this deck, I think you're right. It does it so wonderfully because she's not bound, right? There's freedom. She's in a white dressing gown of purity, of angelicness, of divine, energy. And in the water, in the cosmic, but in the moon, right? In again, the intuition and the receiving and the magic. So the final card out of this layout is our emotional conditions, okay? So remember, this last one was swords. This is where our focus or our attitude should be. I think that if we could boil it down, that attitude needs to be empowered, like really just empowered, like just hang on, stand your ground, get into meditation, listen, be listening. Like it's the wise oracle, it's even more Empress. It's like, no, I just wait until I hear the right thing to do. There's no need to waste energy, no need to waste air. It'll come or it won't. It's kind of like that really very, I don't know, I don't want to misspeak, but like more of a Buddhist sensibility of things, like it will or it won't. We'll see, Okay, so the emotional conditions of this season for us is 4 of Cups. And again, the readings from, this month into next month, this one's an important one. So the emotional conditions are that you need to remember consistency and persistence and longevity, that the universe always has a blessing for you and the universe does always have your back. Even though I really hate that phrase, I use it a lot. That the emotional conditions are that of being supported, but you're not going to be able to see it. So 4 of Cups often shows, someone looking at cups that aren't particularly empty, but they're not particularly pleasing. It's kind of like, well, I've seen these cups. I've carried these cups around for, 40 odd years. That there's always a blessing just around the corner. You know, all of the no's, but the yes is just right around the corner. And again, he's sitting up against a tree, like one of the best grounding techniques ever. So there's this business of being grounded that's going to allow you to listen, anchor into nature, and again, just value the rebirth of spring, the budding of the flowers, the magic of day to day. And because there's something just around the corner. So our emotional conditions need to remain hopeful. And that's what I hear is hopeful. That again, you may not see tangible things, that your day-to-day may continue to look exactly as it looks. But you need to keep your eye focused, and you need to keep your mind's eye focused on the manifestations and the energies you want, and know, like, just count on the universe. Your yes is right around the corner. It's good. It's more of a spiritual homecoming. It has a lot to do with your personal energy getting grounded. We've gone through upgrades. Like, we've gone through energetic shifts and changes big time, and we're still going through it. I mean, we're forever going through it, but this was a big one, and 2019 is a big one. But remember that with all the 2019, this is the first day of 2019 in the cosmos. This is the astrological new year. So this is the fresh starts, new beginnings, and it may feel a little squeamy in our skin, and some of our transitions may not be ready just yet, right? So it's telling us that for springtime, 1 foot at a time, keep practicing, get really grounded, get into that meditation, and feel empowered. I also hear feel empowered in your waiting, because you know the longer you wait, the bigger the blessing that's coming. And if you don't know that, the longer you wait, the bigger the blessing that's coming, okay? All right. If you all have any quick questions about this, I do have to scoot, and I don't want to be late for the next, for my client. I'm going to go hop a train. But I just really wanted to be able to do this reading for you today. And if I get it done, I'll snap a pic and go post it on Instagram so you can see the full layout of it. But we've got the Empress, the Six of Wands, the Two of Pentacles, the Two of Swords, and the Four of Cups. So 3, 6, so 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 4, plus 4 is 8. 8 is empowerment. So there you go. You know, that's the number of the season, of this spring season for us, of this shift. I think there has a lot to do, you know, the Empress here is sitting and spinning and creating, that there is empowerment in the waiting. Oh, I love this too. On her wheel, it has all the signs of the zodiac. So, you know, really getting creative, but empowered in the waiting. There's things to do while you wait. You need to get on the mat. You need to eat your root veggies. You need tons of greens. You need to make something. What are you making? You know, one step at a time. What are you creating in the world? Okay, you guys. All right. I'm going to check the comments real fast. Yay, you're so welcome. Yeah, winter has been a slug. I second that. Oh, nice, Chris. I have visions. For those who do like the magical mentoring with me, I don't know that I'll get it done this year, but at some point in things, Chris just said that she likes to print these pictures and then put them in her journal. I think that's so beautiful. I'd love, you know, for as a collective, for members, that you all have a photo, like a photo book of all of the layouts of the year to see the year in tarot. But for my magical mentoring clients, maybe next year, of again having a photo of each of your readings and then having a booklet made. So again, you have your year in tarot like as a tangible, you know, anchored, grounded piece here. So I will post it on Instagram probably when I come back, okay? And it'll be there today. So if you want to go take a look at it, I'll put a little reminder. All right, I'm gonna go, because once I get back, then I got more readings tonight. Don't forget that the Deep Dive to Thrive sessions are on sale now through the end of April. They will not be on sale again for the rest of the year. So if you want to do the full 90-minute wellness consultation, this is a life wellness changer, I promise you. And most of the clients do it once a year. So we keep fine tuning and keep, you know, moving in. We do the practical pieces. We end with the tarot reading. So we get the channeled information in of what really needs, some of the unseen things that need to be worked with in order for you to heal at all levels, mind, body, and spirit. It does tend to be a little bit more focused on the body healing aspect if there's an injury or a long-term, illness that you're managing and wanting to really heal this year. So those are on sale once a year because it's Aries season. All right. If y'all have any questions about that session, just let me know. And if you don't see a time in my calendar, just message me. I can usually find something. Okay. I love y'all very much. And I probably won't be live until next week, but go press play over at unicornwellness.studio. Bye.